Now, Joy News is learning a heavy fighting has broke out between rival tribal combatants in BAWKU. According to eyewitnesses, it is a full-blown violence and there are gunshots heard all around the community. The military personnel, we understand, are struggling to bring the situation under control. There's still more from the security to the shootings and from the security to scare people from shooting so that the situation will escalate. A brother of someone believed to have been shot dead is joining us on the phone now with more details. Now, good afternoon and thanks for joining us. What exactly has been happening in your community? Well, we'll raise him so we can bring you the update on this story. But the latest is that fighting has broken out in the community between rival tribal combatants, and the military is working so hard to bring this particular development under control. In BAWKU, we understand that one person has been shot dead in the community. What exactly brought this out and what has been happening now? We'll be speaking to a brother of the deceased to understand why the fight broke out in the first place and what's happening. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thanks for your time. Kindly bring us up to speed on what is happening in your community.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brace, and thank you for all your cherished listeners. In fact, what is happening is quite a worrying situation as usual, and the whole of last night has been shooting up to this morning, and one may be asking what actually is the cause. The cause was that a group of Mamprisi youth besieged the Kusasi community just behind the municipal police station and started shooting sporadically into the crowd. And, as a conflict zone, few have to run, others have to also defend themselves. And that has actually brought this particular schemasis or problem this afternoon. Mr. Brace, I just want to quickly send us back small to let the good listeners to your cherished TV station know what is actually happening briefly. I know people have raised legitimate concerns as to whether it's a chieftaincy issue or it's a criminal issue. And I just want to categorically state that these issues up to now is now a criminal issue because BAWKU is a very big area. BAWKU is the capital of the Kusa traditional area, which shares boundary with the Nabdan district to the south, Burkina Faso to the west, Togo to the north, and Gambaga to the northern region to the east. BAWKU is made up of 6 districts and 6 constituencies, all predominantly Kusasis. Despite all these landmark evidences of our popularity, a small group of Mamprisi settlers in the capital for decades now have been fighting that the chief of BAWKU, who happens or who doubles to be the overlord and the king of all the Kusasis and all settlers within the kingdom, must be a Mamprisi man. And they contend that such man who should be a Mamprisi man must be skinned by the Nairi. And that has been over 40 years now. Kusasis are historically known to be non-violent and very peaceful people. And as a result, briefly, in 1957, a committee of inquiry was set up by the then Governor General Lord Listowel, made up of 3 members, SD Opoku Afari, Adoma Heneba, Nana Jimandua, and Luri Canton, to look into the issues of what is really causing this problem. The white paper came indicating that, well, the Kusasis are legitimate people in BAWKU. The Mamprisi are just settlers. The Kusasis are supposed to be chiefs. And in 1958, the Mamprisi sent us to court, in appeal court. And the appeal court upheld the committee's findings. And down the lane to 2003, the Mamprisi sent us to Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court, again, this time, ruled in our favor. You see, on and on up to this day. So when you are looking into what is it the cause of chieftaincy, everyone who understands the situation will tell you, no, it is a purely criminal issue. And as I'm talking to you now, security agencies are there. People have put in a lot of resources in order to bring the solution the solution amicably. But just yesterday in the evening, over 30 youthful Mampusis wielding guns were able to pass through, however, even with the tight security, to the Kusase enclave, attempted to shoot. And they wanted to get people unawares as usual. And in fact, people have to run for their lives and others have to defend. And the Kusases have been in the defense for long because the town is ours and no one would like to actually pour out guns.
So as we speak now, what's the situation?
The situation, is getting quite calmer, except that security is shooting around to scare people. And now, the little I have to say about the security is that it is now quite frustrating and intimidating because you cannot really tell whether the security is fighting us or whether the security is protecting the lives and property of people. My brother, gets, as I told you, who is about to be laid to rest, may his soul rest in peace, is shot by a military man on the leg. And let me tell you, once the guy was shot, he was running for shelter. He wasn't in the war front. And that guy was shot. We pleaded to pick that individual to the health center. We know that, well, if you think that you didn't shoot the fellow intentionally, the fellow should be allowed to be taken to a health center. This military guy protected the corpse, but then the live individual prevented any other person from getting access to that innocent soul for treatment. The guy bled profusely to death. So the question is, what is the essence of the military or the security? Are they protecting us? Are they fighting us? Are they supposed to kill us? So this alone can even increase the temperature, okay? Increase the security situation on the ground. Because we believe that the security must be there to protect lives and property. But unfortunately, they, in one way or the other, being biased or unfair, or let me say, unprofessional in their dealings. And that is quite worrying, Mr. Brace.
All right, Haruna. So, grateful that you could join us this afternoon with these latest happening in BAWKU. We'll go to the police later for update on this particular development.